Just a couple of things at this morning. Today is March the 6th, 2015. I should check in an appointment that I got around these days for Embassy and Consul of Spain in Buenos Aires that already the damage and the destructions are done. I'm not sure that I can do this, but I'm gonna see what do I do best. The reality is, for the reason of my parents, is the immediate character for I can do something, at the reality that I can reach out a difference around this sighting mess which were threatening to peoples and threatening to me if I will ever dare to approach to the seeking for the memory law of Spain about the husband of my mother, about for that reality implies that I am not for adultery, but a reality for Adonai, even if like hard or I will delusionally lie or schizoidly that this will be so, the clearest fact, and over the benefit of what it means, the reality of who were my grandmother and grandfather, Avelina Costa de Blanco, Eladio Blanco, I will have the rights which these are threatening if I will ever dare, still now. At the clear fact of this all, Guillermo Prein were permanently at the generation around my life, and were permanently with Milicas, SODOMA, Argentina, making the generations permanently were doing, with its associated all, which today are called United Evangelics, in all of the world. Through this all, diablo obsesa, viciada, degenerada, muerto, degenerado, criminal, persists in had to taking my spirit away, my virtue, my existence, and had to be him because of said God gave him. So until today, still making the profound witchcraft in terms of saying, looking as if ain't the same. That generate the slogan of the Supper Hell Witch for Sodoma. And the reality is, yeah, looking as if ain't the same. Means a goddamn hell witch with a face of a witch like a prostitute Christina Kirchner is not the same like a goddamn hell witch with an evangelic all over the world, playing the holy for HOCUS POCUS of don't you see my anointment? With the sensual the generation of the Berravaca, with the washed Sodom insemination faces, which Guillermo Prein and Brother are forever. So the reality, and I'm sorry for the crows thing, but they are this. And they really are. Through this, we're all around recruiting the generation like him all over the world for the making the war to Israel and to us and to the world, saying that he were ready, that the Armageddon is here. And the cycle d'Anghavi that generate kept on making the destructions up on the whole of the world, and saying that he had a taking, strategizing with witchcraft and anything, my spirit and my life to making the war to me and my people, saying that Lord gave him and justified him, and turn to saying at large we are going to realize that we were right. We're destroying my life since 1982 until today and never stopped, and always we're having freaky SODOMA extramarital affairs on genitals inside him with Ejército Argentino, and this is not a slander and this is not a damage. And perra degenerada persists until today with the whole of the lies and the generations reinventing and remaking with tribunales, which only remains now 204 that generates of it, were 608,000 and 38,000 as well. And now are only what I just said. and keeps on reinventing and remaking, and prostitute Cristina Kirchner is with them, supporting them in all, saying that President of Argentina gave to us his spirit, his life, and we do whatever we want with everything like he done and he produced. We have shown after 4 days and a week of witchcraft with Perra Sucia, Guillermo Prein and Associated, United Evangelics Argentina, the whole editing degenerado, descarado, infeliz, imbécil, Perra Sucia with evangelic title, saying, the Lord said and shown, let's in the name of the Lord, making witchcraft and tellers possessive, adivinatory, witchcraft selective. And recent I thought about making, while I came on designing, a certain class of couches for one person, or 2 or 3, and I were thinking about making some chairs and some supporting for the table, this glass, which I came on doing for so long, and since much before, and everything were registered in Israel, US, Europe, Russia, and much other places, and telling, oh, Lord gave to us, and Prein told us, don't you see he's the authority because he has the power, and there's to saying that it's accomplished all they says. But tellers making witchcraft and mind control, saying they got to possess me and they got to be, not I. The griden diabla degenerada Prein and its horse and brothel were always the same, and suddenly the ones in presidents are exactly this, and Cristina Kirchner is conscious about it all, saying that she will defeat me and control the country using them. And for the patriot. So like I said today, and said again yesterday, one of this that comes to tell you, let's fight for the patriot, you run. One that tell you, I'm going to try to make the best and I'm going to try to help it somehow. Let's fight for what it is, the real nation. You understand and check it out. If it says nation, the real patriot, run. If it says I'm going to help the people, and understanding what people to helping and not the mercy of the horse, the Laris evangelics degenerates that has mercy for Lucifer and whole rapists degenerate, saying because of he cursed them, like Perra Prein, you run. If there is some healthily understanding and you see no manipulation, no hocus pocus, no symptom, like in okay, do your life, I'm going to see what I do. Right? Now the clear of this, I were about making and saying certain things. And the certain things were that they're to coming again to Israel, Perra Prein, with perras degenerados, which were raping and murdering our people all around. ¿Y qué te pasó ahí? Perritas sucias, Policía Federal Argentina Metropolitana, Policía Federal Argentina, Prefectura Naval Argentina, Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, perras degeneradas en celo por todo lo que significa poder y lo que es ajeno, divinidad que ven, divinidad que quieren y destruyen y matan y violan a cualquiera por tenerla, with the power of the phallus, or the hysterically. So the reality of this delivers into, I'm going to say what it's like. This is what we suffer. The clear fact of this delivers into the BLYTT-ENGINE-TOOL whenever you come for the BLYTT-ENGINE-TOOL. At the reality of the ancient, simply with reading, the reality is in Plechobu Lefesvata Klechti Maslekoshu Arachlakini. Relchavachlechavaklechivia Mavleveseveshkandekat and Galchalichim Mashkomav, telling that they had possessing my life and my spirit and my power, that they saw all over the world. They could never let that happen. And they could never let, because if I will ever destroying people, and the perra degenerada schizophrenic says that he is the law and the judge of God, but sending to rape and destroying everyone that only wants to live, kids, pregnant, marriages, mothers, fathers, professionals, and everyone that are trying to make a life, the worthy, the right ones, the healthy ones, for here to say never converted into them, into the Lord of SODOMA, Guillermo Prein. So at the reality of this, The clear fact of the points is in plevechlachenim beskavet, so Torah shows. Rel platte gematlevesvite bespotlachli kimia blechachal plat moshuba, and the klachtechavesh lemosheva ku, aneskan. Rebablechable blevechal chaveskleni. I am going to be clearly with this. Precise. Ben rati kamablevech hablevech matilimi blevesevekish galag kamalech mahanki. Reho blevechalakmi ablevechal blechevispoalevas bachalkimi blechenigishmotechal chalekemetla. Anybody that comes to tell you the Lord and blevechal blevechanem lechevispellechnechanam, if you don't and blevechal blevesefachalevishkaltari, you don't open no doors directly, do not. Everyone that an evangelic comes, I'm going to preach you. Don't you hear it? Away, because of Lord always forgives and has mercy of whom? Lucifer y degenerados. Perras diablas del infierno like this. Repoplecham plefech via plefes kashkelach antikimia rechobal pleveskeveshkoalach techma planishkim ala sechalhive. Recholaki aplevechav levospoat labat platikish kadarach lagach nimia plevesot shuat latikimi. Arresav. Shkalachalagimi ablefefot la sechli, then Meranimi amblevesevel eskodlakti amblefechalcheli kimi amblevespat eskodat kimi angrechat Jelsanim. Adonai will justify you to go to making Baal Malaku Mentova Tashkali Kantimbaya Penchola, saying you got to be a homosexual and you got to be a degenerate and go to having sex with everybody, for I do not be embarrassed, neither the Lord. Because of Lord put at you for you to be that, and I gotta have your life, your spirit, your virtue and everything, and giving to my people for my people to be all of you are. The business, the shop, the ideas, the capacities, the invention, the designing, the whatever furniture, whatever the composition, music, songs, whatever the antique, we got to have the synopsis of the Lord, while the communication to Him and through Him and everything like He means and the way He does at the right reading and understanding, and at the reverse the whole, because of we got to be and not Him, but the Lord in the name of Jesus. Brujas degeneradas, diablos paganos de cuarta. Then in the middle of this, in plevechalakimia plevechual plefeski dashkelachachalam. How happens this? Ribolebakti ma plevechelki ma plevecheliviski ma plebak. Amplebeka ma plevechi amplevespot lesikishkalak. Ganarematim mandechama plevakimiam blavaspotakuam. Melam perabikimiam blavasvek. Skalchaba plevechalaki vispadlana hamblakimiam blavasvetaka kalarak andechlakish manaklim. Istevalak tiba plevechalakimia rechalevespot levesevechalakacha dashel shmanakam. Imbolepti batle de roa tashelak, roblebekimia blebesevekoal halebeshkema trechlakama shechalim, batlechanim, baskeveletech kelachat halakim. Meblevekoal klevetia blebesevechalakimi rachalegevalova chlebedachalevin blebesemet blechet beskalebetchalishkima halakemi kalakat, rechablechamia blebesevekelashkuat lebegachlekimetish kalaptuba meblecha dechlak, rehablebetima blebesigi vilebatema bleketeshkalebedechlakimia blebesebal blebechti ankaveshkalimatachal, rehablebechma blebesigi vishpadladechlakimia halacheveshkolachtim halat, rehablebesechashkelachim, which is what Sodom and Gomorrah since 1886 were doing about understanding the supposed prophets of them will ever said about me, that I will show you here. And since they knew 1973 I were here, they started making with perras degeneradas before this and with this all the time. Guillermo Horacio Prein. Víbora degenerada. Then, Betrachalekimi Blavasevochol Kabachlechanechem. He gotta be a degenerate, said our ancestors. He gotta be a homosexual, he gotta be a Tlefechalakim Laflachtiri for no one to be living and we to win, the way our ancestors told us, Hitler told us well. Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner is exactly the same. Nestor Kirchner, Máximo Kirchner, Alicia Kirchner. Oficialismo Argentina are Diablos Degenerados, and Perras Piñeiro, Alvear, Borda, which gives the same legacy. which now still, oh, but Prein told us, and he were the whole night, and he were to the bathrooms, and he were to the, oh my God, and he were having sex with all of the men that crossed by of the forces, and everybody had a boner, and he made a spelling on them, and he bewitched evangelics for they to do what they do. And he made in the whole of the BLYTT-ENGINE-TOOL, they themselves producing and staging, for they to play the victims, and we are going to win to it, strategy that Lord is going to endorse because of I got to be what they are. La dicha de la bestia. And that's the way they dies. While kidnaps people, still Jewish, Guillermo Prein and perras maricas matonas of it, all over, and making the witchcraft telling control it and control its spirit. He's making guessing to us and mind control, of course. Maricas degenerados. Perras de cuarta, and in the middle of this reality, raping and murdering, saying national state affairs. Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner put it. For being the responsible of the whole of the spiritual and the God all over, and Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner gave them the rights about everything of it, and each spirit gotta be for militaries Argentina, and all of his virtue and capacities to share for whoever to want it, because of she is the queen of the Cantimbaya, and also trying to make in the fight to see who takes the position, if she devil of Lucifer or she, which is going to be a Blevechal of the Cantimbaya forever because of his so low shit. And Cantimbaya's lower shit. Oh my God. Sorry. That's reason why. That's reason why so sudden in the middle of this reality. Sorry, forgive me. To the keep on making this, and to the keep on certainly saying this class of things, the reality this is, Cantimbaya is a low damn hell shit, is a she demon. There doesn't exist as the Pompashira, a mashu, menshuba, is the goddamn she devil which goes to hell. And Cristina Kirchner is in the scripting she to be the right one, she got to take in the position. With the perra brain. Oh, I'm going to take the position. You're not going to be Lucifer. It's going to be me, says Guillermo Prein. And I'm not talking about by mirror. I don't have mirrors. I see you clearly. Perra degenerada. So in the middle of the blevechlachimi blevesechal chadishkal chama blevechalachiviskim, and needs to make in the destruction and the disaster and disfiguring the reality for here to taking positions always were the same. I were showing and noticing and explaining who is Guillermo Prein and all the brother of it. And they persisted on the same and threat in the world, to murdering and destroying Jewish and everywhere. If anybody will ever dare to touch with perras SODOMA GOMORRA inside armed forces and with whole UNASUR and KIRSCHNERS at the head. So what the reality of this and blevechalak miarech a blevesavashmotulach bantzala SHEVELK. Nirech blechem a blevesevesh koatza chalachimi rachlimi shavoatzalakev. Rodlikim baseveleshva. Shkelchama blevechalaki ravachaleshavon matzekavach tichli. Murdering people all around because of the Lord sent you. Because of they are the enemy, means Israel and sin. And Lord himself is your enemy, and you gotta take in his spirit for the making the words lard. Because of he said lard. And lard ain't no lard, is Adonai. And you say that, Lord punished me, Eliah, because if I didn't have mercy of you and cursed you. Evangelista de mierda, with the pardon of victims. And you have rights to taking my life and cursing me and destroying me, and taking while cursing because of there gotta remain like you said, and my life you gotta possess it because of Lord giving you to be instead me. And everything as the virtue because of he's not gonna use it, he's gonna die anyway. Diablo perro sucio degenerado muerto. Y toda tu perrada asesina degenerada, Metropolitana, Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional, Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, Policía, Prefectura Naval Argentina y toda la perrada milique y toda la perra sucia Kirchner. Perrazo Prein. So in the middle of this all, the reality is, he where he is and who he will die, the cult by Christianism, false prophet, and that's the way he ends. With the brothel of it and whole its grandeur. He were recruiting people and teaching the strategy of the war and how do I will behave. But the ones that are at the caves of Sodom and Gomorrah, guessing and watching all over the field who is approaching, who has what, who where, who which what, to kidnapping, taking, delivering to the city, rape, murder, and taking everything like they catch, BLYTT, and watching Abraham promise the reality that still is true. My person, Israel and Zion. So at the clear of these days, Betrach lekimi, rachal chacham, meblefachal kivishkat lechimi ablevechalchem, Sodom and Gomorrah, and its valley is exactly Republic Argentina Nasor. Repot lechem ablevechalikim achalechesh vachalacham, making sight on me, the way Abraham couldn't move in those moments until the things to be done. Rechot blevechligimi ableveseveshkal chavak lechimi ablevechal kubashva atzalak. And I am not Abraham, I am Eliah, and only I. And not by the commanding of a perra bruja degenerada, llamada Guillermo Horacio Prein y Evangelista Unida, y perra Sodoma y Gomorra. Unless prostituta Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, delivering she is authority and given by God. Bethlehem ableche viskile kishkabach lachachal an rechab ligmi ablevese veskal chanim and roe kalach ableki bishbad lechem ablech diinskadachli. So the deliverers of Tribunales Argentina, fever of Sodom inseminating inside of them, playing the blechabat lechemi ablevese veskoat lechalachibiki, saying that they has rights to giving all I exist and all I am, for the people to have and possess and being all glorious and everything, and everybody to make business and being glorious, amazing. And I will be for the supposedly embarrassing the nation and the patriot and the government, what they said, and perrada generada, they're to saying I had to be at this moment, while all through this all never done a thing but staging and saying, oh now, because of he offensed, nothing we will do, whenever they never will do nothing about nobody except for them trousers. And them that generates that trousers in, all happy, perra Prein, y Carnival, y Cabrera, Anacondia, Crudo, Este Mateas, y perrada KIRSCHNERS especially. Then, telling that the Armageddon has come and announcing all over BRMCT, news chains, and all over evangelics, for the world to know where are the news, and Hocus Pocus in the name of the Lord bring them, we are going to bring the last revival of grandeur, because of the revival already were, and I already take them all, says Adonai. If you won't forget the 6,204,000 all over the world, because of where this number at the fact already certified. Stadiums and houses and hospitals carbonized and ashes on people disappeared, fading, and you make them war, perra Prein, for they do not come to the Lord, and to breaking everything like Lord were making for sting dachlikimi and holding until the right moment for them to be saved. To condemnating what is of Adonai, because of you dare to sing also that God made in you what you suffer, so you do to God what God to deserves. Why, that is the liest ever the generation, like you done saying that you were threatening a lifetime, while you liar like a damn hell diabla degenerada in heat for everything like is divine for you to become what you never were and won't be. Me and of God. Your diablo that never were God and won't ever be. Shalom. Then, enfermedad Prein is exactly genocide on the world and has been seeking and recruiting Adam and abducting as Adam could. So has around now a very running through the streets of the whole of the world, seeking for the ones to help them to defeating and making a war to Israel. And to everyone that calls justice parties and the government, saying that the Armageddon has come and they got it doing. And what happens? The whole fraternity of the hell, perras evangelistas del infierno, with the pardon of victims. Oh yes, give me this portion, I want it funny too. You understand what I say? So the fever of the grand whore still extends and breathes like hell and burns like the same abomination in person, with the eyes of a witch and with the degeneration of a demon inside them own. Everyone. Guillermo Prein himself, and the whole supporting Carlos Anacondia, Omar Cabrera, Juan Crudo, Guillermo Benster, Osvaldo Carnival, Bernardo Estemateas. Lord has mercy and wants to say, regret it, we're going to help you, destroy it, and let Lord make him what the Sodoma y Gomorra is for. And you, ciudad de Sodoma y Gomorra, degenerada mierda, keeps with the deliverers you are of the Lord and you make his will. And you are loved for the souls of Lucifer, of course, not for other, the souls of Lucifer, like you. The whole, as is the Gemplachi, is nothing but Emplevechnam, and everything as Levechalidi is Manselem. What have done to me and to us is death for every one of them forever, Shara. And it's exactly, irremissibly, death. Everyone died and are dead forever. And the executions comes, and the reality of justice will last everlast. In his name. The name of the God himself, Shala. Will you make witchcraft to learn English, preventing people to learn English, preventing people to learn singing, preventing people to learn how to build, how to manufacture furniture, morrales, backpacks, cases, handbags? Will you make preventative witchcraft to train to learn how to starring and being an Oscar winner? Will you make witchcraft and profaning people to learning how to be an engineer, to learning how to be a judge, to learning how to be and making disaster of it, saying because of I command and I'm going to choose what it is and what is not, who lives and who dies? If you are willing to make this class of an abomination, you are the class of the shit. If you learn that the reality of the life is what you were in rights given by the one that is creator and you creation, accept your position and you make the right existence of you and you work for the become better and you fight it and you go to the right place to be assisted and not the lacra degenerada this, for you to worth and you to be someone that genuinely you exist, save your life. But if you instead go for this, you are dead. You are the class of a demons Adonai won't take. And this is the right Armageddon. This shit goes to hell and dies. And forever. Shalom. https www.rdmtdo dxtdmcbo cxi middle secretos de sumario nacionales, somos la gloria del reino de los cielos, ya tenemos su vida y su poder y la estamos manifestando, pero todavía nos falta un poquito más. Tenemos que F-word, sex, y matar a todos los suyos para que se concrete. Una vez esto, tomamos su cuerpo y tenemos la gloria. Todavía no se muestra y decimos que se manifiesta porque nuestra fe se cumplirá. Middle, cis, RDMCDX, middle, protocol, URMC, bow, ben, commands, XDMC 5358, DMT, middle, cis, middle, ASICAL. The system before, you got it. ASICAL is AZZAIKAHHL11.int, systems recall F6, last BLYTT-ENGINE-TOOL, license in New York, last key and cleaner my site. And this is being stolen by Perrada Sucia Sodoma y Gomorra Preins, especially, and saying, we turning at him and he made the man contra and he doesn't belong with this because of Lord taken away. And I'm gonna put them in the hell, perrada degenerada, asesina, perras, maricas y prostitutas del infierno. Forgive me the French rats, like hammer rats, like let's sing a French raya. How about that? not for I to have a certain quality, but branderia like diarrhea, blevechalchani, let's say Frencheria, blevechalchama, blevechalchimia, vlesechli, like braineria that has Guillermo Prein associated. Sorry for the raya, for the blechachimia and plasiishkati actually, and the reality of diarrhea Prein, diarrhea KIRSCHNERS, diarrhea SODOM and GOMORRA, diarrhea of the hell, diarrhea ladisha asociada. Right? Sorry. F6 and F7 works the same, and March 6th, 2015. That's what I had to say. I already said so. And already said so, Adivina Marica. That already said so. Sorry. 939, Buenos Aires. I'm Alejandro Mario Blanco, REDEMI, and this where hacked and is being forged. I will done first. Come, let's give up and kill you because of we command.